Here's a dark secret. The first treadmills wasn't made for runners like this one. They were actually made for torturing prisoners. And I used to think of treadmill running just like that, pure torture. But in the last few years I have come to realize that for all runners that want to reach their full potential, this is such a valuable tool. So in this video I'll talk about why all runners should consider using the treadmill, how to make this torture machine more fun and effective, and also give you my 3 favorite treadmill workouts. So first of all, running on a treadmill is super good for doing those quality workouts, mainly because running on a treadmill makes it super easy to control your pace perfectly and really standardize things, which is not always so easy running outdoors. As a coach, I really believe in using a treadmill on some of your workouts in your training to get optimal progress with your running. Because if you run on the same treadmill, it makes it really easy to compare your data from the same kind of workouts to see how you progress over time. So although having this really controlled training environment that the treadmill offers might sound boring, it is also this that makes it perfect for using on specific sessions. For example, threshold workouts where you really want to stay at a specific intensity throughout the whole workout. You see many top runners, like the best runner in the world right now, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, using the treadmill a lot all year round in their training. And Marius Bakken, one of Norway's best runners ever, who is a big part of how the Norwegian training model was developed, speaks highly of using the treadmill. Both because how you can standardize the workouts and more easily compare heart rate, lactate and pace between workouts, but also because he have found this to be a really good way to detrain the vertical movement. And looking at the very top runners in the world, they have very little vertical movement up and down when they run compared to less trained runners. And there are also some studies that supports that when running on the treadmill, you tend to have a lower vertical movement up and down and higher step frequency. And both of these things have been linked to a greater running economy. So maybe running on the treadmill is a great way of training on a stride and movement that gives you a more efficient running stride. I have also found that since you don't have to focus on anything else than just staying on the belt when running on the treadmill, it makes it easier to focus on having a good and relaxed and efficient running stride when you run on the treadmill. And when it comes to measuring all of this data from your treadmill runs so that you can compare from workout to workout, products from Coros come in really handy. So I'm really glad that Coros is sponsoring this video, because using their products for my treadmill running, knowing that I get really accurate data to analyze afterwards, has both made my training more effective and more fun. The products that I use when running on the treadmill is the Coros Pace Pro paired with the Coros Pod 2 on my shoe, and the heart rate monitor. The Pod 2 gives me really accurate pace and distance data directly to my watch, even on indoor and treadmill runs. And for those workouts when I want to use heart rate to guide my intensity, the heart rate monitor that you wear on your arm like this gives me really accurate data. I actually tested the Coros heart rate monitor against the lab equipment, and the Coros heart rate monitor was spot on with the more expensive and more uncomfortable chest strap that I was wearing when I did that lab test. So after that I really trust this one to guide my training and knowing that I get 100% accurate heart rate readings. One last thing that I've found really helpful from Coros when it comes to treadmill running is the extender feature in the Coros app that allows you to get all of your data from your watch to your phone on a bigger screen, so you don't have to check your watch all the time when you run on the treadmill. As mentioned, the first treadmills wasn't like this. They were actually developed as a way of punishing prisoners while also converting their physical labor into energy, often for tasks like grinding grain. So that many people think that this tool that originally was basically made as a torture machine sometimes is boring or just awful to be on, isn't that strange. But there are ways that can make the treadmill running pretty fun. First of all, it is a great time to watch your favorite series or YouTube videos. I usually save YouTube videos from some of my favorite creators to watch when I'm on the treadmill as motivation to stay on that thing. And a thing that I never recommend anyone to do is just jump on the treadmill and run at the same pace and incline for the whole run. At least to me, then it really quickly becomes so extremely boring. So if I'm just going to do a low intensity run, I still try to mix up the incline up and down a bit to make something happen and some changes, which also gives a great training stimuli and less monotonous load, which could lead to less of an injury risk. But what I mainly do on the treadmill to make it more fun is that I run different kinds of interval workouts, which makes the time pass so much faster because you have a task to get done. So here are my 3 favorite treadmill workouts that I recommend you to try. The first workout is such a great way to get some speed in your legs and to gather lots of time at those higher paces without it becoming a super tough workout that takes days to recover from. And it is running 45 seconds intervals with a short 15 seconds rest. I often do it 25 times and run at a pace that is around my 10-kilometer race pace. Or if I want it to be a harder workout, I start off at that pace and then gradually increase the pace to around my 3-kilometer race pace. Then you also get a great workout for boosting your VO2 max. I'm currently training for a marathon, and a workout I really like for that gets me to run a bit continuous under my lactate threshold is this one. Just 3 intervals, the first one 50 minutes at marathon race pace, and the second one 10 minutes at half marathon race pace, and then the last one 5 minutes at 10-kilometer race pace. This will give you some variety and 30 minutes of running that can increase your threshold capacity and running economy at those kind of paces. In general, I'm a big fan of slowly ramping up the pace during a workout. It makes you feel way better throughout the whole workout. The last workout I want to recommend is a classical threshold interval session, just simply 6 minutes times 5 with a 1 minute rest. And this I run as a threshold workout, checking my heart rate quite often, making sure that I stay below my lactate threshold. And this could be a great reference workout as well, that you can run quite often and then see your progress when comparing your heart rate between the different workouts. So I got this comment on a recent YouTube video I posted. Hey Göran, I've heard from a couple of people IRL that when running on a treadmill I should put some incline on at all times to compensate for the air resistance you get when running outside. Do you think you need to do this? So this is, in my opinion, a big myth. And I hear this so many places that you should always have 0.5 or 1% incline when you run on the treadmill to adjust for that you don't get any air resistance running inside on the treadmill. And I totally get where this comes from. Because of the lack of air resistance, it is easier to run at the same pace on a treadmill compared to running outdoors. So to be able to compare your paces to outdoor running, you should have this around 1% incline. But the thing is that even with running on an incline like that, on a treadmill, you can never 100% compare treadmill running to outdoor running when it comes to the different paces. It is simply 2 different things. And most treadmills are not 100% correctly calibrated, so even between 2 different treadmills, the same pace or speed can be quite a big difference. So I would rather say that don't compare treadmill paces to your outdoor paces. And then it's really no need to always have a bit of an incline. Especially if you are training for a flat road race, then your training becomes less specific when it comes to the movement and running stride if you always have that little bit of an incline. But with that said, as mentioned, using the incline to do specific uphill workouts or just vary the load a bit when you're running on a treadmill, I think is a really good thing. And running uphill intervals at, for example, 10% incline can be a great VO2 max workout and also reduce the impact on knees, for example, compared to running on a flat surface on the same intensity. But don't just always run at a 1% incline because you think it makes it more similar to outdoors running. Hope you get to do some great treadmill workouts. Thanks again to Coros for supporting my channel and creating all of these useful tools for us runners. If you want to check out all of their products, you can click here. Train smart, have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.